Good evening and welcome back, Benfiquistas, and maybe a few Sporting fans who are here for our buddy Paul's return for another episode of your favorite Benfica podcast. As always, I'm your host, and I'm joined today by a full panel who is anxiously waiting to unleash their thoughts regarding Saturday's match. This week is not just any game, it's the game. The derby of all derbies, the derby eterno, the one where green and red clash in a folklore dance that could end in tears of joy or utter disappointment. Hopefully not the case for us. Saturday, the Estádio da Luz is going to be an absolute pressure cooker. Picture this: Benfica and Sporting neck and neck, dead level on points, battling out for the title right here in our backyard. The stakes are higher than the price of eggs here in the United States. For Sporting, a win, and they can start their title parade to the Marquês right under our noses. Did I mention they've not won back-to-back titles in over 70 years? For us, a 2-goal victory or more, and the party's on. A win by the minimum margin keeps our title dreams alive, with the edge heading into the final match day. And a draw, well, it would be Sporting's title to lose in the last match day. So dust off your lucky scarves, open up your drink of choice, and join us as we dissect this clash of titans. We'll have a few laughs as we break down tactics, and most importantly, dare to dream of glory. Let the pre-derby jitters, trash talk, and analysis begin. Gentlemen, good evening. Paul, welcome back. I'll welcome our visitor first. Paul, how are you doing? And welcome back to the podcast.
I am good. Thanks for having me. I'm definitely anxious for this game. Definitely wasn't where I expected to be before Ruben left, but here we are. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
Bill, how are you?
Doing pretty good. I mean, nervous, like I think all of us are for this weekend, anxious. But if you had told me a few months ago we're going into the final 2 games with a chance to win it at home, I mean, I'd sign up right away. So pretty good.
Fair, given how we started. And Jason, welcome back. I know you jumped in briefly recently, but you had some technical difficulties, so you jumped out. But welcome back. How are you?
Good. Hope everyone's well. Exciting weekend coming up. Getting ready for the big derby, and hopefully Lisbon sees red.
Let's hope so.
That's what I'm hoping for.
History tells us it will, but we shall see. So today we will look back at history. We'll look back in time. We'll look back at what does the numbers tell? What do the numbers tell us in regards to Benfica Sporting at home at the Estádio da Luz? We will look at current form. We'll talk about how did we get here? How are we feeling? Both sides. How's Paul feeling about his team? How are we feeling about our team? And we'll flip the tables. How does a Sporting fan see Benfica's current form going into this game? And how do we as Benfica fans see Sporting's current form going into this game? We'll make our predictions in terms of the starting 11, and we'll also look to work together and pick a combined starting 11. Where do we think the strong points are in that starting 11 between both sides? Talk about strengths and weaknesses on both sides. We'll talk about picking a player, past or present, from Benfica and from Sporting that we would each put in our team, and who would we take out and why. And we'll finish off, of course, with expectations and predictions for the big match on Saturday. Before we get started, para a malta que esteja bem em português, esteja à vontade de participar aqui nesta nossa conversa. Podem deixar os vossos comentários, como quiserem. Todos percebemos português, por isso estejam à vontade de deixar os vossos comentários. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe, do all those fun things, retweet, repost. I don't know whatever other terms I'm missing, but do it all for us. It takes 10 seconds. It doesn't cost you anything, and we greatly appreciate it. All right, let me see here. So we got one comment, Alex Lodo. Quem for ao estádio, pelo menos esteja a puxar pela equipa em vez de estar indo ao telefone. Tem de ser 90 minutos à Benfica. I agree. I don't know if anyone will be on their phone in this match, given the stakes of the match itself. Looking back at history. So history tells us that between Benfica and Sporting, in all competitions, 324 official matches. Benfica's won 139, which is 43%. They've drawn 70, which is 22%, and Sporting's won 115, which is 35%. So Benfica's got an advantage, about 24 matches wins, and as it relates to between the two of them. For the Portuguese League, they've played 181 matches. Benfica's won 83, which is 46%. They've tied 47, 26%, and Sporting's won 51, 28%. Again, Benfica's got a 32 win advantage in that aspect. As it relates to Benfica at home, in the league official matches, Benfica's got 90 games in total, 49 wins, 25 ties, and 16 Sporting wins. Benfica's got 54% win ratio at home, 28% ties, and 18% victories for Sporting. Combining that with, let's see, goals. Benfica's got 179 goals in those matches versus 117 goals for Sporting in those matches. So significant difference in goals as well. As I said at the intro, Benfica needs a win by 2 goals or more to win the title on Saturday. The last time Benfica won a game against Sporting for the league at home by 2 goals or more was in February 11th, 2014, where we won 2-0, goals by Enzo Perez and Nico Gaitan. So it's been a while since we've beaten Sporting at home by 2 goals for the league. So since then, we've drawn 1-1, we've lost 3-0, won 2-1, drew 2 games 1-1, won 2-1, won 4-3, lost 3-1, tied 2-2, and last year with that 90th minute plus miracle, João Neves and Tankstead, we won 2-1. Looking at that, I want to jump into the current form. So currently, Sporting's top of the table because of the head-to-head. Naturally, they beat us at home 1-0. So Sporting's got 78 points, just like we do. They've got 24 wins, 6 draws, 2 losses. Benfica's got 25 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. Both conceded 26 goals. Sporting's got 85 goals scored, 82 goals conceded. Or Sporting's got 85 goals scored, Benfica's got 82 goals scored. So 3 goal difference advantage for Sporting in that category. Paul, since you're our guest, I'm going to start with you. How do you describe Sporting's current form going into this game? How are you feeling about it? Tell us a little bit about that.
I actually think they're in pretty good form. This last game, I'm not going to worry too much about it because I feel like he didn't start the best starting 11. And it ended up kind of like biting us in the ass. Granted, we still won at the end. But I think they're in great form. We're starting to get a little bit healthier. More people are coming back, so we'll have more subs off the bench. So I'm pretty comfortable with the Sporting form right now. Okay.
And are you, obviously, given how the season started, right? Ruben, João Pereira, Rui Borges, if somebody told you at the beginning of the season, I would have, and I'm probably going to answer for you, but if somebody told you at the beginning of the season, given how it started, that this game would be potential title defining, I'm assuming, just like all of us, you would have said no chance.
No chance. No, I think it would have been over by probably like 2 or 3 games by now.
And I think we agree with that if Ruben had stayed, given the path we were on. Now I'll fast forward post Ruben, given the changes that Sporting's faced, given the injuries that they've run into, are you surprised that they're in the position that they are?
A little bit. So I think getting rid of João Pereira helped a lot. That was just like a complete, misfire. So getting rid of him helped. But then all the injuries made it so tough for us. Like we were playing guys out of position, some kids that from the B team. So it's tough. But I mean, I feel like Benfica also slipped up a lot when they could have took advantage. I mean, currently right now, you guys tied Aroca, wasn't it? Like a couple games ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one would have thought that happened. So that helped Sporting get back into it. So I feel like it's one of those things where we had some help from Benfica by you guys kind of dropping points, but I am surprised that Sporting's still like top of the table after all the injuries, after all the coaching. But at the same time, this team like shows a lot of heart. I feel like that they're like a great squad still. So I am surprised, but I'm also not surprised. I think Sporting's still the strongest team in the Portuguese League. So
bold statement. Bill, I'll go to you. Flipping the table here. How do you describe current form for Benfica?
I mean, if you're looking at results, it doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, we're on like 4 wins in a row right now after the Roca game, counting the Taça game. But I think our issue, and we've seen it all year, it's the games against the smaller teams where we tend to kind of play down, right? And in moments where we should, like Paul said, take advantage of a Sporting slip up, we tend to fumble it or, make it harder on ourselves than it should be. Case in point, this past weekend, like
Yep.
the game should not have been that stressful, and turns out it was. And for us, it's par for the course, right? It feels like every other game is we get an easy game and then we come back and we get a stressful game. But this is one of those, just like the Porto games, like form tends to go out the window. Like, who'd have ever thought we would have smashed Porto 4-1 in the 2-game, right? Like, it just, and especially in the form we were in, like it was the same type of thing where we would have like 2 or 3 games that we played well, and then we'd fumble a little bit, and then go into the Porto game, we're all nervous, and so with these games, you can read into it a little bit, but I feel like form and all that goes out the window. And it's at this, especially at this, like in this game, emotion takes over more, and it's more about like pride and just the fight, the will to win type of thing. Because I mean, both teams can essentially walk out as champs, right? This is, as far as I can remember, I don't remember a game.
I don't think it's ever
like
happened
this,
where both
not even
where
like
both
a derby,
have the
but like
opportunity
both,
to win it.
right? Just like 2 teams that could
Yep.
both win the league going into the last 2 weeks left. Like, I can't remember anything like this. And
Yeah, there's been situations where one or the other could have won, but I don't believe that there's ever been a situation where they both have the opportunity to walk away with it.
I have a quick question. How does a tiebreaker work? So say like Benfica wins 2-1, who gets the advantage there?
So if we win 2-1, if we win by 1 goal, the
Goes to the last
advantage
week.
is basically a moot point, and it would go down to
How we do
goals
last weekend.
scored, goals difference.
Okay.
Yeah, so but we would have 3 points advantage if we won 2-1, right? So you'd need us to lose
Against
The last one
Braga.
against Braga.
Yeah. So last game, a point would be sufficient for us.
Yep.
Jason, would you add anything to what Bill said? And I know that it's been a bit hectic for you recently in terms of being able to catch games and sit down and actually focus on it. And I'm going to ask you the question before Oscar jumps in because his camera's not connected. But would you add anything to what Bill said? And I'll ask you the question that I asked Oscar or Paul, which is, given the first month or so of the season, are you surprised that we're in the position that we are in going into Saturday?
Sorry, Mike, you broke up while you were talking. I didn't hear the question. I don't know if you could repeat it real quick.
Yeah. Would you add anything to what Bill said in terms of his description of our current form? And given how we started the season, would you say that you're surprised that we're in the position that we're in going into Saturday's game?
So just to add to Bill's comment, I kind of agree. The Lisbon, when the Lisbon Derby happens, all emotions, all forms. It's a game of emotions, like Bill says. Everybody wants to win. It's a lot on the line. But I will say, Benfica is in pretty good form. I was just looking at their results in the second round. They're 13-1-1, which I know they had those 2 slip ups with Casapia and Roca, but other than that, they kind of ran table. And Benfica they do struggle on these games, but Braga was in the first round.
Yeah, that was the last game. You're right.
Yeah, so like as far as their form, I think they're in great form, and I think Sparta. I looked at theirs. I think they stumbled a little bit more overall, but like Paul said, his team is getting healthier, and I expect fireworks. I think this game is going to be a classic. I'm hoping for a big game. I'm hoping for a good game, and like I said, I'm hoping for the red team to get to come out on top overall. And I definitely disagree with Paul. I think we are the stronger overall team. Just want to point that out there. You're on our podcast, buddy. But other than that, I didn't expect. I'm not gonna lie, from how the season started with Roger and Bruno Lage again takes over a team halfway, or a quarter of the way through, and it's kind of similar to like the first season. I know the first season I feel like he ran house a little bit more, like he would have won those games against Aroca and probably had a better team overall. But I think Lage has done a great job to put us in position. And I think it's there, right? He said in the beginning, you remember that interview after a Champions League guy, you just got to fight the team. I felt like got around the guy, and now we're in a position to bring it home at our stadium, and hopefully we kind of pull it off. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I have a lot of Saturday is going to be very hectic for me. I got a baby shower at the same time, so I'm just gonna. My wife's listening to me right now, so you got to find a way to watch the game.
If you need help, just let us know. We'll set something up for you.
I'm going to tell Biggie to set up the TV somewhere in the back.
We'll get that taken care of. This is a once in a century performance. Oscar, before I jump to you, I just want to jump into the comments quickly and read some of these. Let's see. Edson says, "Vamos ganhar." Um abraço para ti, Edson. Alex Lotus says, "I'm just worried about Tomás Araújo on the right side. He's not a lateral. He's a center back, but tem de ser 90 minutos no Inferno da Luz." Edson says Benfica to win with Dio Hand, a mass disaster class. I don't know the reference to the hand, but I mean, I don't mind him having a disaster class. Ben asks, should Di Maria start? We'll get to that, Ben. And thanks for tuning in. Gary says, we got this. Let's see what else we got here. Gary says, I feel Di Maria is going to have a hell of a game. We're going to touch on that. Ben says, I think he's going to start regardless, just because his tenure in big games, and we could seeing his last game for Benfica the Stade lose. If Amdouni was healthy, could be a different story. We'll get to the Di Maria situation, but thank you to everyone that's in the comments. And if you haven't left a comment, please join the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking. This is, again, one in a century game, the scenario, the context of what's happening. So let us know what you're thinking. I'm sure everyone's anxious. Sporting fans, Benfica fans, whoever's watching, join the conversation and let us know what you're thinking. Oscar, in true Oscar fashion, he shows up late, as always. All of us here grew up with him or have spent a lot of our lifetime with him, and I think we can all vouch that Oscar is, if we had to just describe him in one word, I think we could all say that late would be one of the 5 words we'd choose. So welcome. Anything that you would like to say to start?
I haven't heard anything Paul say today. I know, but just looking at his, he got really scared that I just popped up.
Not even a little bit.
But looks like you're crying.
Sporting has proved you wrong more than anyone else.
I have a picture of you crying once in the couch. There's gonna be a second picture. I want to screenshot this screen right now.
That was such a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be like 3 days away.
Jacques Gomez.
There we go. Oscar, how do you describe Benfica's current form going into this game? And are you surprised, given how things started, that we're in the position that we're in going into Saturday?
Am I surprised that we're first, or
that we have the opportunity to fight for the title?
Of course, I'm not surprised since Lodge came in. I was surprised.
I expected that answer.
Of course, no.
If Smerda stayed in the team, I would be shocked. We'd be fighting for third or fourth. But with Lodge, nothing surprises me. He's already proven in the past he could do it, like Jay's just mentioned. So no, nothing doesn't surprise me. And guess what happened when the first year that he came back, or that he came in and he won the title, came back 7 points behind, right? And then where did he win to win the title? Was it in the Dragão? Rafa scored and João Felix scored.
2-1.
Okay, they scored. It was like second to last game, something like that, or third to last game. I just see something repeating itself.
It's the wrong team though.
I hope you're right.
Sporting doesn't play in the Dragão.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But
I wanna flip it and ask Paul. How do you see Benfica's current form going to this game?
I actually think you guys are in really good form. I didn't watch last week's game though, so I don't know how you guys did there. But I feel like Benfica needed to. Well, one of their goals was to cut down on the goal difference, and you guys did it. You've been scoring like crazy. But Sporting also, this is like 2 weeks ago. You guys scored 6, and then Sporting came back and scored 5. So I feel like both teams can score. I think the and I don't know if it's an issue, but it's like who's going to concede less. I don't think it's going to be like a shootout or anything, but the defense is probably where I'm a little more worried than offense because I feel like both teams can score. So, but I think Benfica's in good form right now too.
Okay. Oscar, since you joined late, I'll let you share on behalf of the group how you see Sporting's current form, and then Jay and Bill, feel free to add anything if you think he missed anything.
Well, knowing the Sporting has been playing with 14, 15 max every game, the form is like shit. Like we have to play legit against 15. So that's my mindset. Is like, all right. So guys that slap people in the face, they get to score goals right afterwards. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna be a theme against Benfica, right?
This kid's been waiting for this podcast all
but
day.
It's funny though because that happens in every game. I don't watch Benfica religiously, but I can go back.
There's a lot of static going on over here. There's a lot of static. Paul, I just saw this game. I just saw a game list this like a few days ago. Was it Sunday, Monday, whatever it was that Sporting played, and the guy that scored 3 minutes later should have been Tomarvano, right? You agree with me or not?
No.
You don't agree with me?
Nope.
Okay. So therefore you're defaulted out. You're like you're just
no. The thing is you guys nitpick. You nitpick on every
game right here. You're not talking fair game. If you're,
but neither are you. You're saying because I can go to a bunch of games where Sporting should have probably won.
You can, but if like a few years ago, was it last year, the first game of the season when Di Maria hit pot, I was one of the ones that said it should have been a red card, and the game was stopped too. Okay, the game was
right. So the other thing is right. So he didn't get a yellow card. Arouche didn't get a yellow card for the slap in the face, but other guys have gotten a yellow card. But other guys have gotten their second yellow for the same foul for Sporting, and then it cost us the game. So
right,
even but you're saying like you can play against 15 or whatever. Sporting gets fucked as much as they get helped, just like Benfica.
I don't know, but this season it's a little.
This season's
a little more. There's a little more help this season.
I actually saw a post where Sporting had the most penalties not given to them, even though they had the most penalties given. They also had the most not given that should have been.
There must have been a post by Sergio Braga, which it's fine. He'll probably.
It was not. It was not.
Say those things all the time.
It was actually on. It was on like the Sport TV post.
Yeah, of course. Sergio Braga Sport TV. Got the move from mass. But I
mean, you're just as bad with Benfica.
Hey, leave Sergio alone. I like Sergio.
We are in this season, and I've admitted in the past, like, you know, the big teams always get help, but this season Sporting cannot complain once about refs. And since
what are you talking about?
Since the president came out, the Barandas guy came out and talked about the refs, it's been a change.
That is so. How about the red card when we tied Aroca too? We got a red card that game, right? One was like it was on Human, bogus call. It was like a bullshit call.
I don't recall that red card.
We got like there was like a couple games where we got Diomande too got a red card. It was like the
Diomande red card that you wanted to kill somebody.
No, he hit the guy by accident, if anything.
Of course.
But the human, they said that he like threw him in the air. It was like a second yellow.
Oh, against that, okay, yeah.
It was against
the penalty.
He has lost points.
Yeah,
they have lost points because of bullshit calls.
And they've basically won points probably like 50% of the time because of help.
No,
but no, besides that, Sporting I was scared of Sporting with Amorim. Hands down, I was like, I thought Sporting had the league already won when they were 10-0, no ties, no losses, playing really good. Benfica and Porto both in shambles with Schmerda and Vitor, whatever his name is. So I thought Sporting, okay, this is a season. Basically, we have to rebuild because we can't continue like this. And then Lodge came in and we started playing better. We did really well in the Champions League. You know, we beat Atletico Madrid and we beat, I think, Juve, whatever it was. So we played really, really good soccer in Champions League. We had left a good image. And then at home, we started winning games that we usually like, shit, we're going to lose this game. Beating Porto at home, beating Porto away by a lot. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Doesn't really happen. I don't give a shit how bad Porto is. It doesn't happen. Benfica does not go and beat Porto Najantas 4-1. And for history purposes, it's probably in the 90s or 80s, whatever it was the last time.
Never happened.
Yeah,
right.
But
4-1 never beat them.
This team is legit garbage.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how bad they are. They never give Benfica an easy time. It's like they rather die than lose to Benfica, right? So we've been impressive. We've been getting better. We've had now the last few games, and I've told these guys on text message. We've had the lead, playing comfortably, winning, and then all of a sudden something happens, or we miss a few sitters, and the teams, we allow the teams to come back and compete with us, and we could have got the goal difference away, like the Roca home. I don't know how many goals we missed, and now Estoril away. We were like, shit, like this is opportunities we could have had, and then we go beat fucking Guimarães 3-0, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with us? Like the games we should have been killing them, like we're not, and then the games we should be scared and playing like kind of like more like a 1-0, 2-1, we're goleadas. I'm like, so I'm hoping that the trend continues and we get to Sporting and the trend continues.
In the same breath, though, Guimarães 3-0 was like, I don't want to say a lucky result because you guys deserve to win, but they also missed chances. So like you guys might have missed chances to win.
3-0 wasn't telling of the match.
No,
itself.
not at all.
I agree with that.
I think they played better than us that game.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where like they think we could have missed plenty. So as Sporting, I go back to games we probably should have scored 7 or 8. But Guimarães is one of those where you guys lucked out that they didn't score. I mean, I'm sure Sporting probably has some.
They're saving the games, their goals for the last game.
The second.
I mean, as long as we score more than them, but they did tie us. They tied us right. We tied them right at the end. Yeah, we were winning, and then we tied them right at the end.
Oh yeah, they went. Then they turned it right 3-2.
Yeah, no 4. 3-2. No, it was 3. It was 3
at one point.
When we scored 3-3. No.
It was 3-1. You guys, right?
3-1 us.
3-2.
Then they tied at 3-3, and then we won at 4-3. Oh no, sorry. Then
we tied.
It was 3-2. Then they went up 4-3.
Oh yeah.
And then we tied at 4-4.
Yep. Yeah, Trincão scored at the end. Yeah, I remember that game. All right, so we've Bill and Jay. Would you add anything to what Oscar said in terms of how you feel Sporting's form is coming into this game?
I mean, I Oscar touched on most of it, and Paul did too. I think I tend not to watch a ton of Sporting games. So I feel like every time I turn it on, they fucking score. So I tend to leave that shit off. But no, well, Benfica's gonna win, so it doesn't matter. But I think, I mean, Sporting have a solid team, right? And I think Oscar touched on it, where if Ruben had stayed, and I've said it, like I think the league would have been done and dusted by now. But I think that change for them is what kind of opened the door to allow us back into it. But I think Sporting is very dependent on Gyökeres scoring. I don't know what the stats are. I know he has like the majority of those 80-something goals they've scored. He's probably like 50 or 60% of them. But I mean, again, he's a once in a generation type of talent that has come to the league. So you expect him to score a ton of goals. But I feel like without Gyökeres, it's a very different story. But it's still, I think the big differential for us was Ruben leaving, which kind of put the league back into limbo and allowed us to get back into it.
All I gotta say to add to that, if Benfica wants to learn something from Sporting's last game, just learn what the Gil Vicente center backs did against Gyökeres and do the same, because they fucking put him in a pocket. Gyökeres could not do shit against those guys.
I'm pretty sure Benfica did that before too, and I don't think Gyökeres is the guy you have to be worried about, because the last 2 league games, there's someone else that's been fucking you guys right at the end of the game.
What, Cantinho? Jenny Cantinho?
Yeah, Jenny scored.
You know what? If we can keep Gyökeres in our pocket for 90 minutes, I'll take that and take the risk of someone else.
I feel like you guys did. So I'm pretty sure the game from the Primera Volta, you guys did kind of shut Gyökeres out, and we still won.
We shut Gyökeres down both games. The Taça game too.
The Taça game. That one I remember. The first game,
I don't remember.
The first game, you guys basically, the first half was all you. Second half was more level, but we had more upper hand on the second half. But you guys played better first game than us. I give you that. And then you guys scored right at the end. I think it was Jenny Catamo that scored.
And that was, I'm pretty sure that was Rui Borges' like second game.
That was his first game.
Yeah.
His first
First
game.
game.
You got hired like that week.
We were in first place, I believe, and then they won and they jumped up to first place. We've been in first place twice, I believe, with Bruno Lage, twice or 3 times, and we've
Jumped in.
lost the following game, which
The,
is this
the,
one.
the worst game there, like I can expect to lose to Sporting away, right? We lost back-to-back games. That we lost 6 points in those 2 weeks. It was Braga and then Sporting, or Sporting and then Braga. We lost 6 points that week, that same in 2 weeks, and that's what made us lose the first place.
Yeah. And what gave you guys the first place was João Pereira. He lost
Yep.
all of his fucking games.
Well, we had to also win ours.
What gave you guys a 10-point lead was João Schmerda.
Ruben. We also had a shitload of injuries. That's another thing that Sporting's like, for the most part, healthy now. But
dude, we all go through injuries. Don't give me that bullshit.
Yeah.
we're still in first
Fuck
place.
outta here. Fuck
We have
out of here.
three-
with that.
Two guys tear the ACLs in one game.
Yeah, dude. Stop
Do you
it.
think, Paul? Do you think?
Yeah,
Do you
we
think
bought
it's-
a guy? We bought a guy, and then the guy fucking tore his, like he said, tore his ACL.
Literally
Like, shut
2
up.
within like 3 minutes.
My new in Ba. And the same
you-
game.
Yep.
Before we go to the predicted 11s, Paul, do you think, right, you mentioned the injuries, and that's been a topic of conversation for a long time, and I get it, right? Like, you did have quite a few injuries, but I feel like it's been like a constant excuse, like no one else has injuries. And again, you did have a lot of injuries. Some of them, the club was very... I don't even know what the right term is, right? But they were very hesitant to say anything publicly, right? Like Gio was an incognito, like no one knew what the hell was going on with Gio. Pot was a mystery as well. The president, who himself is a doctor, came out and gave an interview and was very cryptic, compared his injury to Kai Havertz, for example, when in reality, Kai Havertz had to get operated. Right. So people were like, how was it the same as Kai Havertz if Pot didn't get operated, whatnot? But do you put any blame on Varandas? One, because of his, and I'm going to speak from this side of the fence looking in, and Bill, Oscar, and Jay, feel free to add if you think I'm missing anything. But I feel like there's a certain sense of arrogance from him, given the title that he won with Sporting, with Ruben Amorim. And of course, like, he deserves credit, because I think him and those around him have put Sporting in a place where, I mean, let's be honest, they haven't been in a very long time. Right. Sporting hasn't really been a competitive team. It's mainly been a Benfica and Porto race for, most of our lifetime. And Sporting is in a place where, they are far more competitive. But apart from the arrogance and the appointing of João Pereira and his comments of, I have no doubt João Pereira is going to be at one of the top clubs in the world in the next 4 or 5 years. He shot himself in the foot there. Now he's at a top club in Turkey somewhere that I've never heard of. And then he folded under the pressure and went and got Rui Borges, who was doing well with Vitória. But in addition to all the injuries that he had, right, he didn't really do anything in the January transfer window, right, which has been a criticism that he's received from a lot of Sporting fans, in the sense of, he went and got the goalie, and then he went and got Biel, who barely plays, right, and he spent 7 million on him, right? So, like, given the injuries that you guys were facing, as a Sporting fan, yes, you had injuries, but do you point the finger at the president in any way, shape, or form, given the fact that, like, Benfica in the January transfer window went and got players and made transfers to kind of add on to what we already had, right, for the final stretch, and it felt like Sporting basically sat on their hands, and the transfers that they did make were minimal, and one that they made was just, it makes no sense, which is the BL one.
Yeah, Biel was a swing and a miss. But if he had came in and actually, like, been good, because at the time we got Biel, Pot was out, so we needed we were using Jenny up there and even Kinda. So I get, like, why they brought Biel in, but he just was a swing and a miss. I don't know why they didn't do more transfers in the January window. I don't know if they don't have, like, the money for it. But the only thing that we did was him, Biel, and the goalie, and then we also kept Fresneda because he was supposed to leave. But then,
Correct. But you kept him because the deal fell through for someone else that you were supposed to buy. I can't remember who the hell it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
the
was
kid
the
from
guy
Guimarães
Yeah,
that went to
exactly.
Juventus.
Right. So Sporting, and I feel like I don't know, you can't really predict an injury, but Sporting did have like a pretty solid team. The only thing that I think that we still need is a striker, because aside from Gio, we don't have a striker or one that's good. So I don't really blame him for not buying a ton of people, because Sporting does have a lot of players that could play. But like when you get like a season-ending injury, they still have to pay that player. So it's not like we don't have. I don't know how much money Sporting has, but I mean, I didn't hate the transfer window. I get that he couldn't do a ton. Am I surprised he didn't get a couple more pieces? Yes, but it is what it is. I do think that with the injuries and the missteps that we took with João Pereira, like I said before, I think the fact that Sporting fought to still be in the top 2 right now and fighting for the championship they've been resilient too. They've been great. They've been playing guys out of position, still scoring goals, not as much as they were before, but I think the team itself is still pretty strong.
I disagree with Paul. I think Sporting invested a lot in this off season. They probably invested the most out of all the teams in Portugal.
Not the off season, January.
January, Caralho.
Yeah, they probably invested the most out of all top 3 teams.
Oh, on the refs, right?
Yes, that's right. As malas ficaram cheias, and they didn't have money for players. But think about it: if you invest on the refs, the rest is covered.
Your joke makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, I know it. It doesn't. Keep drinking. You might forget about it too.
I want to jump into.
I hope Sporting wins with like a last-minute PK that's a complete dive.
Oh, no, it's the same thing.
Don't put that into the universe, dude.
Oh my God! If you're listening out there, I don't know who the fuck is going to be the ref.
Wait. What if it's total opposite? What if it's legit like Benfica does that?
I'm just proving you wrong. Like I'm proving you wrong.
And then you guys will come back here and cry like you guys are virgins.
No, I will. I'll just say you said that you guys don't get help. Like Sporting gets all the help. Clearly they don't. If that's what happens.
Oscar already mailed a check to the Associação Profissional dos Árbitros.
Oh, then you guys are definitely losing if Oscar's the one that mailed that check.
I'll definitely pay $2,000 for a ref.
That's all.
Not even his fucking ref.
Just to put it out there, we don't condone match fixing.
Yeah.
I'll even send him a little girl on the side, or hey,
oh boy,
whatever Peter Costa used to do, I'll do the same.
I want to jump to expected 11s, and then we'll go to combined. Jay, I'm going to start with you. What's your expected 11? And then once we go through all of ours, we can then debate if we would change or why or whatnot. But Jay, who would be your 11?
Benfica?
Yes.
Ruben, Carreras, Tony Silva, Ota. What's his name on the right? Thomas Arujo. Midfield. So obviously Di Maria is going to play. I feel like that's a given. Pavlidis a start. The midfield, I'm like worried about. I'm guessing it's going to be Coxu, Freddie,
and
Tino.
Guy. Come on, just say it.
And then, yeah, I said Tino. And then the 3 up front, I would go Di Maria, the Artoglu, and then Pavlidis.
Okay, so just to recap. Trubin, Carreras, Tony, Antonio, or Carreras, Antonio, Otamendi, Tomas, Coxu, Auschness, Tino, Di Maria, Pavlidis, Karem.
Yeah.
Oscar, you agree with that?
I think it's exactly that.
Bill, do you agree?
It's not the lineup I would go with, but I think that's what he.
What would you change?
Out. I wouldn't. I know the whole Di Maria thing, big game. He hasn't played in like 2-3 games, right? I don't know. I don't know if I'd start him.
So who'd you play?
Amdouni. I'd play Amdouni.
Didn't he get hurt?
Is he out? Oh fuck.
Yeah,
I know he came out last. I didn't see that he was out for the game.
He's
so you play what? Zuma?
So if he's out, then I'm doing we've done it a few times already
Shredder?
with. No, I'm doing essentially
Ball?
like a back three, so it'd be Carreras.
Oh no, do stop it. You're in timeout now. Go next to Paul.
Bro, how many times has he done it already? Playing Carreras and Dahl on the left side.
Dude, he's not. Nobody inventare. Nobody inventare.
How is this
Balloon.
invented?
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
done it so many fucking times
You
this
think
season.
you think he's going?
How many times? Go look. How many times he's done? He's done.
Go ahead.
He's done the Carreras and Dahl
There's
on the
his
same
shambles.
side.
See?
See how
See,
quick
Paul?
Oscar told him to go to timeout? He's used to it now. Gabriel, go to timeout. Check it.
Hey, the boss is right here, so don't say it.
She's listening.
I agree with Jay and Oscar. I think that the starting 11 is pretty straightforward. Mikey says nobody would start Dahl. Bill would. I agree. I think that in this game, yes, we've played Dahl there. He gives us a little bit more security with and without the ball. But I think, and we'll get into it, but I think Dimity is going to start. And I don't want to get into the conversation yet because I want to get Paul's thoughts on his 11 first. But Paul, what do you think is your 11?
Start with the refs.
So there's only two spots where I'm not 100%.
Is it just Pinheiro Coutinho?
No. So all right, the center backs I think is set. It's going to be Inacio, Diomande, and Quaresma. So that's solid. The right side, I think Katemu starts. Jenny, he's been starting over Kinda, but I could see either one starting. I think I prefer Katemu a little bit, but so I'm going to put Katemu there. Left side, Arujo is going to start because he's just coming off probably one of his best games.
So it's Quaresma. Why isn't Quaresma starting?
Quaresma is starting.
I thought
He's
I
not-
didn't hear
We
you.
played back three. So those are the three center backs, and then Arujo, Jenny. The midfield's the other place where there might be one off, but Ullman starts 100%. And then I don't know if he's going to go DeBost or Morita. But I'm leaning DeBost. I think he's going to go DeBost just because Sporting doesn't need to win, and I think having those two in there is a pretty solid midfield. And DeBost has actually been playing very well. So I'll put those two in the middle, and then up front is the same three as always: Bot, Gyökeres, Trincão.
As always, Pot just started like a game.
No, if he's there, he's starting. So.
And you think? So you're saying your center mid pairing is Ullman and DeBost.
And that's so Ullman's 100%. It's either going to be DeBost or Morita because those are only two options.
Do you think that having DeBost and Morita or DeBost and Ullman that you lack a creative player in the heart of the field?
A little bit, but when they have played together, and I feel like DeBost goes up a little more, and he's actually really good at serving the ball, so I don't hate it. But it all depends on like the mentality going in. DeBost is definitely more defensive than Morita. So if Sporting goes in with the mindset to play for a tie, those are two that are definitely going to start. I hope he doesn't go in like that. I wouldn't mind Morita starting. He's also coming back off injury, so I don't know like if he's match for a full match or not. Because he started the last game, him and DeBost, and then he came out for Ullman.
Okay.
But I to be honest, I wouldn't care if either one starts. I think DeBost has actually been playing very well out of the center back role in the midfield. He also serves the ball really well. Like he's really good at long balls and getting the ball to the box. So
he is.
Either one.
He's good at set pieces. Do you think that playing DeBost and Ullman, in my opinion, I agree that I think DeBost has done a good job in that role. But in my opinion, when DeBost and Ullman play, I think Sporting is super defensive. They're very one-dimensional. They don't have neither of them can transport the ball, right? They're not guys that are going to carry the ball up the field. They're very much break up play, lay it off, keep it simple. They're not going to, make passes. They're not going to make vertical passes and break lines of pressure. Do you think starting those two sends a negative message? I know you guys are playing with the draw and the win. Typically, if history tells us anything, when a team goes into a game playing for a draw, they more often than not come out losing. Do you think that playing those two from the start sends a negative message to the team in the sense of, all right, we have the tie, let's just not lose this? And given how, in my opinion, Sporting hasn't defended very well since the departure of Ruben Amorim, because this system isn't Rui Borges' system, despite the players still being the same. This isn't his system. Do you feel like that could be a really bad way to go into the game mentally?
For me, yes. I don't know about the players. I wouldn't want to go in and have to defend the whole game. I want Spartan to come out kind of firing, maybe get a goal like pretty early if we can. Like I said, I wouldn't really care if either one started, but for me, I'd rather have like a Morita in there just so we can kind of have a little bit more offense. But like I said, if he does go in with that mindset, it is what it is. But hopefully, like the wing backs will be able to like create some offense, because to your point, those guys aren't going to create much offense in the midfield.
All right, before we go to the combined 11, I'm just going to get one opinion. Oscar, are you surprised by any of the choices Paul made?
I mean, I think they're all frauds, but in all honesty, I agree that Morita should. I mean, if I was a Sporting fan, I would absolutely want Morita to play, just because he offers them something going forward that the boss does not. And I think even though they're playing for a tie, and I think they will be playing for a tie, that might bite them in the ass. So I'm just saying they should watch. They're gonna probably end up putting a Morita second half to the 3 goals deficit.
Paul forgot to name the other 4 players that's playing as well.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course. The VAR.
Is that the joke of your podcast over here?
Yeah. Let's go through a combined 11 here, right? So we'll go with a 4-3-3, since that's as close between the two systems that they'll play. Goalie, Trubin and Rui Silva. Who do you guys take?
Trubin.
Paul
can start on that one. Paul, say it.
Yeah, Trubin, 100%.
Okay.
All right. So Trubin's our starter.
Samu.
Shut up, Jay.
Vai dormir.
Right back. This is going to be tricky because Sporting doesn't necessarily have a right back. But right back, we've got Tomás Araújo and Eduardo Quaresma. Neither of them are right backs. Both center backs. Which poison are you picking?
I mean,
I love Quaresma personally.
He scored a golazo in his young kid, but he also did concede the PK, right?
No, he didn't. St. Juice.
I like.
Was he on the play? It was St. Juice.
St. Juice, yeah.
St. Juice one that gave the PK.
Yeah.
Quaresma's actually, I think he's really good.
Yeah, I like
he's
Quaresma,
young though.
But Tomás Araújo, I think, offers more security.
I like Tomás Araújo just because I think eventually he's going to be the better player, and he's playing out of position. So,
I mean, they're both
shows
are.
his versatility.
Although
kind of.
Tomás is playing in the back 3.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's to be honest, you could probably chalk it up as a draw. Yeah, it's a draw.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are playing out of position. Well, technically in a 4-back. Center backs, we've got Diamand, we've got Inácio, we've got Otamendi, Otamendi and Antonio Silva. Jay, what 2 are you taking?
I'm going with Benfica. I mean, are we going one by
Both?
one, or
Just pick 2.
Yeah,
2 of the 4.
I probably do Ota and Inácio.
Me too.
Interesting. Bill, you too?
Yeah. I'm on the fence with Inácio, but yeah.
Paul?
I would take both Sporting guys.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm just kidding. I would take. I'd actually take the same 2, and the only reason why I wouldn't take Diamande is because he's like sometimes like a loose cannon.
I like.
So I would do.
I like Diamand, and that's where I was on the fence. Where would I take him to pair him up with Otamendi? But then you have 2 fucking matadors playing together.
I think Ignacio is solid too. Diomande is like the nutcase in my eyes.
I would go Diomande and Otamendi. I think Diomande, yes, he has a capability to be a fucking loose cannon, but he is like, if he's focused, he's an absolute fucking monster. He's got pace, he's got strength, he's good with his feet. Ignacio, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I don't see the hype. Like he's a good center back. I don't see the hype that like people made of him. In my opinion, I think Diomande's the best of Sporting center backs.
Right. I guess it depends who you're comparing them to on the Benfica side, right? Because I think
if I put Diomande against Otamendi. But if I put Diomande against Antonio Silva, then Diomande.
I would take Diomande. Yeah, I would. Yeah. So of those four, I would pick Diomande and Otamendi.
So Diomande would be your number one out of those four.
No, Otamendi would.
No, I would take Otamendi.
Okay, but I was just confirming.
Yeah, but I think out of the four, in my opinion, those two are the best out of those four.
Yeah, I mean, I love Diomande too. I just hate his head is not in the game.
Do you think it's like for you? Is it like a big gap? Like I don't think it's that much of a gap between those two players.
And I'm also considering the left and right foot because Ignacio is a lefty, right? And Diomande is a righty.
Diomande's a lefty, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I thought he was righty.
I could be wrong, but I thought he was a lefty.
Paul would know, right? Paul's a Sportingista. Let Paul say it.
I think he's a righty, and I think Ignacio is a lefty.
Yeah, so to me, Otamendi and Ignacio because of left and right.
Yeah,
that shit don't matter.
He is transfer market says he's a right-footed center back, but again, but then again, Otamendi plays on the left side of the back line.
Yep.
So Diomande could very well play on the right side. On the left side, we've got Carreras. I think this is an obvious, or Maxi Araujo. I think Carreras is an easy win here.
Even though I do like Araujo, but he's another one that's like
he's sloppy. A hot South American hothead.
Yep.
And he has like there's games where he's just like a killer, and then games where he's sloppy. He just had like a really good one.
Games where he should get reds and he doesn't.
Well, that's the thing is he's another one like just like Diomande, like they lose their mind sometimes, and I'm hoping they don't this game.
All right, holding midfielder, we've got Tinu or Yulman.
Yeah, Yulman.
I'm picking Yulman 100%.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one.
Come on,
not for Jay. Not for Jay.
Yeah,
he's holding on.
I'll go with Yulman.
Okay. And then the midfield pair.
Paul's getting roasted, by the way.
I gotta read the comments after.
I am.
Yeah.
And then the other two in the midfield.
I don't care what all they say.
You've got Kokshu Auschnitz, and then on Sporting you've got Debast, and I guess you guys got 5 there. So I guess I would, in my opinion, if Pot's playing, I would include him in this too because he can play in that 10 role.
What, you're doing midfield now?
Yeah, so Pot and Debast and Auschnitz and Kokshu.
So current form.
Yeah, I think Koksu and Arsenal's no hands down.
Yeah, because Pot just getting back.
Months.
He's really Pot is definitely out of form. I'm hoping he's better against Benfica, but last couple games, not at the Pot level. And yeah,
I'd go Koksu. I'd go Benfica's. Koksu's changed my mind a lot. I haven't been on the pod, but I've been trashing. I trashed that guy a lot last year, and he's improved.
It's an understatement.
Massively on this team. So I'm very happy with the guy. So I mean, me personally, I would go Koksu and Freddie because I feel like they're so crucial for Benfica, and I think they're better overall than anything Sporting has to offer.
No, I see you.
Okay.
Milton, you gotta stop, guys. You're jinxing Benfica. Stop it.
We gotta put Milton in timeout.
Oscar, put him in timeout, dude. Come on.
He's going crazy, dude. Milton's going crazy.
Stand right there.
Well, you think Pot is definitely not overrated. He's like underrated, if anything. Right now, he's coming back from an injury. He's not going to be like an all-star, but Spot is like Sporting's biggest creator. He's
So he
amazing on the
finished.
ball.
He finished his juice cycle. He's good.
Well, whatever. Hopefully he's on the juice come Saturday. He came back playing scared. You could tell he was like afraid to like give it 100. He started last game, but he played scared at the beginning.
All right, front three. Remind me who we're missing. So Benfica, we've got.
Di
Let's
Maria.
do the wingers. So we've got Di Maria and Carem. Sporting, you've got Trincão and did you say Jenny, Paul?
It'd be Jenny, yeah.
All right, so
With the 4-3-3,
Jenny,
yeah.
Trincão, and Di Maria and Carem. Paul.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch enough Benfica to compare these, but I love both. Trincão's another one that's a little out of form right now, but I like both those players are solid. So I don't know. I couldn't. I'm gonna pick the Sporting guys, but
okay. Bill,
I would do Di Maria and
Say it, Bill.
Current
Say it.
form. I'm gonna. I like
honest.
Trincão, but on current form, I'm gonna go Carem just because he's kind of gotten back to that form that he was in when we first signed him, bagging goals and assists left and right. But it's very close.
Oscar.
What about what's his name? Kenda. I'm confused on
Kenda. Kenda, you don't know who Kenda is. Is that what you're saying?
But what's how come he's not playing or he's not in the
Jenny? So Jenny came back. So before Kenda, Jenny was like the wing back on the right hand side,
right?
And then Jenny got hurt and Kenda was playing.
But Kenda was doing good, I thought.
He was doing good. So that was so out of my starting 11, the only two spots that I said I was unsure was Jenny or Kenda, but I would put Jenny there. And then the other one was Morita de Bust because Kenda's been coming in off the bench.
Yeah, I mean Kenda's the big thing coming up. I mean, he even got called.
But he's also 17. Like I get it. And Kenda will come in as a sub 100%.
So
or vice versa.
Yamal is also 17, and look at him.
but he's playing on fucking Barca. But I agree. Like Kenda could easily start on the right hand side too.
I think I don't like you guys all obviously know Karim to me is like he gives me what Coxu gives Jay. Like he's got the ups and downs like that I hate. So I would go Di Maria because he's obviously a big game player. And I'm a fan of Trincão. Trincão to me is like especially what he did at Seleção and those 2 goals he scored and all that. He got a little bit of love from me. So I like Trincão, so I'll give it to him.
So Di Maria and Trincão for you?
Yeah. Both
okay.
lefties.
Jay?
I would go Di Maria just because of the reputation and the big game status that he always tends to show up. And I would go Jenny.
Really?
So, yeah. I
Interesting.
think he's gotten us in the past, and I think he's a good player overall. So I think I would go with him.
Okay. Fair.
Even though Kerem kind of scares me too, so it's up and down.
I would go Di Maria, and yeah, it's tough between Carem and Trincão. I do agree that Carem has definitely started to gain that form that we got him with. But I think Trincão was a better all-around player than Carem is. I think Trincão gives you a lot more. He's capable to go one-on-one. He's capable to link up play. He's capable to come back. I just think overall, I think he's better. So I would take the 2 of them. Striker, I think from a numbers perspective, it's a pretty. Although Pavlidis has had a good season, I think it's pretty.
Cabral.
Anyone not taking?
I'm taking Greek Freak. I'm not joking.
Is this between?
I'm taking Greek Freak.
Is this between Belotti and Arden or
Harder? Yeah, Harden.
Harden.
James Harden plays basketball.
Harden just got
Whatever his name
is.
Is anyone not taking Gio?
It's tough. It's tough not to take Gio.
Yeah, Jay wants.
I'm taking Greek Freak, baby.
I love the
I
Greek
want
Freak.
the Greek Freak.
Come on,
We'll give you that.
Nope,
We'll give you the
I don't
Greek.
give a
Again,
fuck.
had a good season, but the fucking blonde dude has just absolutely smothered the ball.
Otamendi's gonna put him in his back
I hope
pocket.
so. Let me just read through some of these questions or comments quickly, and then we'll get to some of the questions as well. Edson says,
Mike, before, who do you think gets a red?
in this game,
Yeah.
if I had to bet on someone getting a red card in this game, my bet is going to be Diomande.
I mean, it's out of the two, I would think. Or Benfica. I don't know on Benfica's side, but on the Sporting side, it's out of two guys.
I
What do you think, Oscar?
feel like this game is going to be an all or nothing for Sporting because I think they're going to leave it all on the field. I believe. I don't think that. So I think the two guys there they were trying to say for Benfica don't play against Guimarães. So they better fucking win.
Oh, you're saying like Yulman will get a yellow card?
And so would the Reis, whatever his name is. I think
Mateus
those guys.
Reis.
It'll be a tough game for them not to get red.
Mateus Reis is definitely a bozo that would definitely do stupid shit. He's another one that gets roped into stupid things and then he gets himself in trouble.
But I see somebody losing their temper, especially if the game gets a
could.
little frisky and
I
getting
mean,
red.
the game's gonna be hot for sure.
So you don't think anyone on Benfica would lose their head?
If I had to guess on Benfica, if Sporting, my guess from the starters that I think you're going to start, Diomande would be my guess. For Benfica, if I had to guess who would get a red card, I'm going to be honest with you. Given the context of the game,
I know who you're going with.
given how I've seen him react in some situations, Di Maria.
No, I don't. Did not think you were going there.
That's not where I was thinking.
I was thinking you're going with Tino, to be honest.
No, I thought
no.
Tino won't get it because losing his temper. Tino will get it because stupid.
Tino will
Correct.
lose because of a lot of fouls.
But
Yeah,
that's
I
why I
guess,
think
yeah.
like Diomande is a guy that could lose his temper in a hot moment. Di Maria's got the experience, but he's also shown us that he's capable of fucking doing stupid shit.
Putting his head
his
against
arm,
the ref.
yeah.
Or yeah.
And again, given the context of potentially this is his last game at the Stadio da Luz, right? If he doesn't renew, right? So and he's never scored against Sporting. Potential to win one last title for Benfica before he leaves. There's a lot on the table here for him emotionally that could play into this.
And more than so, if they start losing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paul, who would your guess be?
Oh, well, I agree with Diomande on Sporting side. On the Benfica side, I don't know who would get it. I really think that if there is any red, it's going to be if a team scores, then the other team's going to start getting a little chippy, and then someone will end up getting a red that way.
Okay.
But I would say if there was one guy, it probably would be Diomande because he's just if there's too many times where he loses his head. Where that's why I didn't pick him in my starting 11. Well, the combined one, but that would be my guess too, Diomande.
Bill, if you had to guess one on each side.
So for Sporting, I mean, Diomande is, I think, an easy pick, but I think the Moxie, right? Your left back, Paul.
Oh
If
yeah,
you-
he's a
if-
good option.
Dude,
Those
with Di
are
Maria,
the only two options.
him
And he's on Di
going at
Maria's
it,
side.
Yeah, that's
That's a good
that
point.
could get both.
It could go
ways,
either way.
right? Because they're both the South American hotheads.
Yep.
It could go either way. For Benfica, one that, and I've seen him react, and I think the intensity of the game, what's at stake, could boil over. Is and this is out of nowhere, Koksu, Turkish fucking hothead dude. There's been games where he's reacted
Fair.
very aggressively, and the refs have kind of.
Has he gotten a red?
He's never. Not at
No.
Benfica, I don't think. But
No.
a game, if it's going south for Benfica, I could see his blood boiling a little too hot and him kind of coming in with a reckless, stupid challenge.
Hope that's not the case. Jay, if you had to pick two.
Well, I'm very surprised you guys didn't go on the Benfica side. You guys didn't go with Antonio Silva on a stupid mistake, and then he makes a foul and gets a red card. That would be my guess. If I had to pick a second one, it'd probably be Otamendi. because he's always talking to the ref, and you know him. He can kind of blow his temper once it fucking goes off. So as far as Sporting, I feel like Pot fucking is like a little rat in there, dude. And
Dude, he's fucking obnoxious.
he likes to chat it up with the refs, and he might say something stupid or something doesn't go his way, or he might get that, or he might get that steroid anger, and just say something stupid to the ref and get a red. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for. Something.
All right, fair.
That would be my two.
Fair. Okay. I want to run through this quickly. I'll start with you, Oscar. Give me one strength from Benfica's side that you think we can take advantage of, and one weakness from Benfica's side that you think Sporting could take advantage of.
Oh man, Ooh, you didn't even let me think, you son of a bitch.
That was on the agenda if you read it.
No, I didn't read it. All right, one strength for Benfica that they can take advantage of it is I think they're the leading in corner kicks or scoring from corner kicks in Portugal, right? They're the most goals from corners and dead balls. And Sporting has a weakness, like Paul said, is a defense since Amorim's left or whatnot. I think that's an advantage Benfica can take advantage of is those dead balls. And then you said, what was the second question? The weakness of Benfica?
That Sporting could take advantage of.
I think our weakness. Man, we don't have a fucking weakness. Go fuck yourself. I'm not gonna give you my secrets.
I love it.
Oscar's keeping his cards close to his chest. Paul, a strength for Sporting and a weakness.
So a strength for Sporting, one thing. Well, obviously Jokic is a strength. I think we have, but I also like that the way that we're set up with the wingbacks. I feel like overloading to go score a goal. Like we have more people going forward, and if Arujo and Jenny, if they are the two starters, if they play like they should, and we don't play scared, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of balls in the area and have a good chance to score. So that's one of our strengths is the wingbacks. Weakness of Sporting, like I said, I feel like we concede way too many goals now. I don't know if like the last time it actually was probably Boavista, right? They didn't score, but Sporting concedes a lot, especially since Ruben left. So that's our weakness. If we just need that defense to be smart, play like they're supposed to play, and then we should be fine.
Okay. Jay, strength and weakness?
So for Benfica, I feel like our strength overall would be, I think we're going to be able to control the midfield. I feel like a little bit better than they will with Coxu and Freddie in there. It's just my opinion. I feel like that's a good strength for us. And I would say our left side with Carreras going up there with probably Di Maria or Karim. I can see them switching sides. As far as Sporting, as far as what weakness for Benfica,
No, Benfica's weakness.
I would say Thomas Arujo. Even though I think he's a good player, I feel like Sporting will probably attack that side more and
because he's hurt.
Make it a point to kind of point him out, and I could see a substitution. He's probably going to run out of gas eventually, and probably have to get taken out of the game. So that would be that's how I would attack Benfica, in my opinion.
Paul, is Jenny on that side or Trincão?
On the left side,
Jenny.
Your left.
Jenny.
No, it's Arujo and it's Pot.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Trincão and Jenny on the right. One thing,
Jenny's behind him.
Yeah, Jenny plays behind him. Jenny's actually like a winger that transitions to right wing back.
Yep. Which actually helps us.
So Sporting plays basically like in a way like Benfica. They have the wingers that have off foots that come in. Trincão comes in with his left and Pot comes in with his right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then
wingbacks coming in behind him.
And the wingbacks are both Jenny. Actually, Jenny, we have so many left-footed people. Jenny's also left, and Arujo is also a left.
Kenda's lefty too, isn't he?
Kenda's lefty too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill?
Benfica's strength, and Paul's alluded to Sporting's defensive weaknesses. I think ours is going forward and the amount of opportunities we create. And then on the flip side, our weakness is our efficiency when creating those opportunities, because we've had plenty of fucking games where we create a ton and can't put the ball in the back of the fucking net.
Fair.
This is a good point because he could put Genda in over Rouge. I don't think he will because Rouge is coming off a big game, but Genda could play on the left-hand side too.
That's what I was thinking. So for me, the weakness is looking at the teams. I think the weakness is there's two, right? Ben mentioned a good one here too, right? Benfica's weakness is passing out of the back from a high press, right? That's been Benfica's problem for years, is when we get pressed, we always end up fucking up. But depending on, I'm going to go with Tomás Araújo simply because, right, if you've got a Jenny there, or a Kenda, right, those are guys that are quick, explosive, trickery, right? And Tomás is quick, but his first step's not so fast, right? He's more of a guy that's going to catch up to you over 10, 15 yards. He's not a guy that his first step is quick, right? Naturally, he's a center back. Now, if Pot is on that side, I feel a little bit more comfortable because Pot's not a guy that's going to take you one-on-one, and he's not going to beat you, right? He's going to want to come inside, and I think that puts Tomás Araújo in a more comfortable position. So my pick is Tomás Araújo with the expectation that I can't imagine Rui Borges is going to play Pot on that left side, if I'm going to be honest with you. I would assume, in my opinion, he would move him more central and attack the fact that Benfica is playing a center back at right back, and go at him with a Kenda or a Jenny. Strength-wise, there's a few that I could pick. The one I'm going to pick is the fact that, I mean, we're playing at our stadium in a win-or-go-home match against your same city rival. I mean, you can't draw this up any better. I mean, regardless of form, regardless of anything, if Benfica wants to impose themselves and show what they're worth, I mean, you're playing at your stadium against the club that lives a mile down the road, same city rival, and you can win the title. And on top of that, they could win the title. I mean, if there's any more motivation that you need going into this game, I don't think you can get it anywhere else but the context of this game. So I'm going to say the advantage is the fact that we're playing this game at home, and hopefully it ends up panning out in that fashion. I just want to run through some of these comments quickly before we go to the last piece here. Edson says his combined 11 is Trubin, Jenny, Tomás Araújo, Inácio Carreras. Damn, he leaves Otamendi out. Interesting. Yulmand, Kokshu, Aushnes, Kerem, Pavlidis, Gyökeres. Oh, he's playing with two strikers. That would be an interesting pairing to see up top. Let's see what else here is worthy. Ben says, playing at home, we ain't defending nothing but the badge on the jersey. I saw Tecari ser campeão. Let's see what else here. Ben says, let's be real. If Benfica played Araújo at center back, it'd be Otamendi and Araújo, no question. Ben says, Paulo don't know nada. O gajo só começou a ver futebol ano passado. What else? Milton says, Pot sucks. Let's see what else we got here. Danny says, free Karen Reed. Milton says, do you think Rui Costa invited Trump for the game on Saturday? Yulman would have 20 L's if they were actually given, from Ben. Let's see what else. SLBS says, mentions Bruma. His mouth put him on the bench because he came out all cylinders firing and then blows it. He would have easily earned his starting spot. Edson says strength is Pavlidis, weakness Tomás Araújo. Ben says weakness is passing from the back, Antonio Silva. Although Antonio Silva did a really good job on Gio in the Taça Liga. Kept him pretty quiet, so hopefully we can have a repeat of that. Edson says Borges will put Kenda there to target Araújo. Alex says Tomás Araújo is getting adapted to a right back. I wish they didn't do that and put someone, Reis, on that right back side, but hopefully he's on his A game Saturday. He's going to have to be. There's no other option. Sink or swim. Big, high-stakes game. All right. Two last things. First, Jay, I'll start with you. Pick a player, past or present, that you would put in the starting 11 for Benfica, and who would you take out and why? You're muted, by the way. You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. That's a good question.
No one reads the agenda.
I guess. No, I did read it. I'm kind of in between two people, right? When I think of how I started watching the game, the number one game that comes to my mind is when João Pedro scored that
6-3.
hat trick, and I want to pick him, but I can't also dismiss Cardozo's record. So I would probably switch Cardozo with Pavlidis. For
Okay.
the reasoning would be because Cardozo fucking owned Sporting.
this is a fact. All right. So Jay takes Cardozo for Pavlidis. Oscar?
See, I was thinking just a play that I would put in there. I didn't know if I had to take somebody else because I like Pavlidis now. So I think Pavlidis will do his job.
Yeah.
I think he'll do his job now.
That's why I wouldn't pick. That's why I wouldn't pick
I
anyone.
wouldn't waste my pick on Cardozo because I think Pavlidis will do his job.
Yep.
Man, now I think I'll pick somebody from
You fucked
midfield.
me. You fucked me. No.
Yeah. Well, and this guy just can fucking Ben just changed my mind. Antonio Silva is probably my weakness on this team. And
Maybe want to go Miguel. Maybe want to go Miguel because our right back sucks right now.
Oh yeah, Miguel too.
You know?
Fuck man, Miguel too, dude.
You need a second to think.
Yeah, go.
Dude, I had to throw Miguel in there because I knew this was gonna happen, and he's now.
Paul, who would you put in and take out?
So I'm gonna keep it more recent. But just because our defense has been struggling, I'd bring back Coates because he was the heart of our defense. And even though I love
scored 90th plus minute every time.
Even though I love Quaresma, I'd probably take him out and then have the back three of Coates in the center, Diomande, Ignacio. I feel like those three would be super solid.
All right, so Paul's taking Coates back, and he's taking out Eduardo
Quaresma.
Quaresma.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill?
Yeah. So when you sent this out, I mean, first instinct, and Oscar went the same way, is Cardozo, like easy. But now with the caveat that you got to pull someone out, throws a little wrinkle in it. But the next name that comes is Nico. And take Karem out. Nico Gaitan.
Okay. It's a good shout.
Nico Gaitan, Di Maria, and Pavlidis up top. That sounds
Nico and Enzo. I feel like Nico and Enzo had pretty good games against Sporting.
Enzo Perez, nasty.
I just thought
was the other one.
about Enzo Perez, the goal he scored against the fucking
left foot.
Eric Dyer, yeah.
Fucking
that was
nasty goal.
That was the last time Benfica won by 2 goals against Sporting in the league at home.
Yeah.
14.
I'm gonna go with one of my favorite players for Benfica, and I think he would be crucial in these big games is Simão Sobraza, and I'll take Karem out.
Okay,
Simão was another one.
With you. He says that's Simão on the left. Remark says the 18 version of not potential for Kokshu. Edson says I would pick Feja. Wouldn't worry about defense. He covers everything. Ben says João Neves for Araújo. Auschnitz at right back. Oh, so he's switching tactically and players. Not a bad idea. Let's see who else we got here. Edson says Paulo should be Brian Ruiz to repeat that one scene. Yeah, that game with JJ at the helm. SLBS says Miguel. Why not Moxie? I had this debate.
Because Oscar loves Miguel. That's why.
Yeah.
Because
I had this debate with the guys on the Portuguese podcast earlier today about Moxie, so we won't go there. I'm gonna go a little bit different. I think the Cardozo thing isn't obvious, right? His record against Sporting was brutal. I mean, he scored goals for fun, just like Lee Edson used to do against Benfica, right? But I think both of those positions are two positions that I think between Gio and Pavlidis' current form, I don't see that as a weakness right now. The position I'm going to go for isn't necessarily a weakness in my eyes, especially you guys know I've advocated for this guy all season. But my reasoning is I would go no. I would go Perdom for Trubin. And the reason I would go Perdom for Trubin, one, Perdom is obviously a much better goalkeeper. Two, my expectation is that Benfica comes out on top in this game, and Perdom never won a league for Benfica. He won one Taça de Portugal in 5 years, and if there was ever a player that Benfica had that deserved to win a league and win more silverware, it was him. So that's my pick. Perdom for Trubin. Rui says, why not Nelson Semedo? Alex says, young Di Maria for old Di Maria. You could do that too. Cardozo time was a totally different Sporting, though. I don't know. It was, but I mean, he was scoring goals.
Cardozo could score goals for fun, regardless of who he
Yeah.
was playing against.
All right. Expectations and predictions for this game. I want 60 to 90 seconds. Tell me how you think it's going to pan out, and then give me your final result. And quickly, Andrew, our buddy DJ Infinite on Instagram, says, para mim, sábado eu quero bom jogo e uma boa cerveja. He's a Portista, but he's not telling us the truth, because he doesn't want Benfica to win. No Porto fan wants Benfica to win. So he left out that last piece. Paul, again, since you're our guest, I'm going to start with you. And those of you that are tuning in, leave us your predictions in the comments. What's your expectation, Paul? And what's your final score?
So my expectation is that, and this is not what I want to happen, but Spartan's going to come in to play for the tie, and I hope it doesn't bite them in the ass. But I just feel like it's in Benfica's home. They're not going to go there. I hope they go there like guns blazing, but I don't see it happening. I think under Ruben, maybe it would have happened, because I feel like we played with much more balls under Ruben. So that's my expectation of the game. And then I'm thinking either 2-1 Sporting or a 1-1 tie. But because I want Sporting to win, I'm going to just go 2-1 Sporting.
Okay. And confidence level. I sensed a little bit of uncertainty, nervousness, anxiety in your tone as you depicted that picture for us. So I'm not sure that the result that you picked aligns with your voice and your tone as you told us that story.
Well, it's because it all depends on how we come out for real. Like what I think and what they actually do is two
but that's what we're basing this on. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, that's why I said the one. So I think Spartan's going to come in scared, not scared, but playing like defensively, and that's why I think the 1-1 is probably more.
You're not even watching the game. Shut up, dude. Look at the comments.
Oh yeah, we got.
I'll have it on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, Paul's boss just jumped in the comments. Paul, love him on. You got carretas to push Pablo. Oh boy, Paul's working overtime. He's not gonna be able to watch the game.
I'm gonna fake an injury too. So I can go home.
We got this on recorded, Danny. So if he calls out sick on Saturday, go find him.
But no, so I mean, to be honest, I feel like so what I think is gonna happen is that it's probably gonna end in a draw. But what I want them to do, if they play like they should with like the balls and go like don't play like defensively, I can see Sporting winning.
All right, so you think it's going to be 1-1?
1-1. Yep.
Confidence level 0 to 10. Where are you at?
On the draw happening or on
the result?
Probably like a solid 7.5.
Okay. Bill, expectation and result.
I kind of agree with Paul. I think I expect Sporting to come in and be more defensive, and allow Benfica to kind of control and just have possession and try to hit on the counter. My heart wants to say 3-1 Benfica. But using my brain, I think it's going to be a 2-1 Benfica win, and then it goes to
last game.
Santa Braga. Yep.
What's your confidence level?
With my prediction with my heart, I'm going to go like a
No, dude. The
5-2.
prediction that you made 2-1.
Yeah, a 2-1.
Your heart was 3-1.
7.5.
Oh, two. Jay, expectation and result.
So I feel like both teams are going to have their moments. I hope that Benfica, we're home, we come out. I hope that we come out guns blazing, trying to get that early goal. I think we do get that early goal. Overall, I think Sparta ends up tying it. We win 3-1 at home to move on to first place and have
And win
one
it.
step closer to being.
No, we win 3-1. We're
That wins
champions.
it.
It's over.
Then we win it. Fuck it. Then we celebrate in the marks.
What's your confidence level?
Now, Isu, I'm going to go 6.7.
Oh, not very confident.
We're eating pizza here. Fucking.
Oscar.
I don't know. Are you guys going to pick a different number besides 7.5?
I started that.
I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna say 9 and on 2-0.
Oscar says 2-0 and a 9 confidence level. Okay.
Damn, this is different, Oscar, that we're used to. This is
No, this is my mentality going to this game. I'm confident.
I'm gonna go. My prediction is 3-1. And in terms of confidence, my confidence level is I'm gonna go with Oscar. Like 9 because it's at home. History's on our side in terms of head to head. We've got 2 World Cup winners in that locker room that I think will play a massive part. 65,000 fans, right? If this game's at the Alvalade, I would not be nearly as confident, right? Just like Paul would say probably the same thing, right? Going away for this game and playing it at home.
Yeah, if we were at home, I'd be 100% confident we win.
Yeah, despite
Mike,
Benfica's track record at Alvalade.
I will say though,
you just raised my confidence to 10.
I was just looking though, and I was just looking, and I know Benfica is probably the toughest opponent Sparta will face. In the league, we didn't lose any game by 2 goals.
Well, you're about to get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
I amped up Jay. He's all right. He's ready to go. Let's just see some of these comments here. Gary says 3-1 Benfica wins. Edson says 4-1 Benfica wins. Ben says Andrew wants Benfica to win, or he's going to have to hear the bitching from the family the rest of the day. Andrew's family is all Benfica fans except him. Rob, wow, Rob, you're awake, dude. It's late over there. I don't mind if Benfica wins. That's not true. That's
bullshit.
I don't believe. Bullshit.
Meme with a little kid.
Oscar,
Yeah,
bullshit.
Bullshit.
Any comments for your buddy, Robbie?
I can't talk to Rob about Benfica right now. I wait until Saturday.
Oscar hacked Rob's Facebook and he commented.
Yeah,
for him.
that's Oscar.
That's Oscar commenting, not Rob. Milton says 3-1. Game-winning goal in the 80th minute. I'm assuming game-winning meaning the 3-1 in the 80th minute. Let's see what else here. Milton says you remind him of Bruno Carvalho, Paul. I don't know what it is. Maybe you look like a DJ.
He has no hair.
DJ.
I don't DJ on the side. I push that remember?
Rui says 3-0 Benfica e bebes uma garrafinha de Favaios. Ben says expectation Benfica plays with the crowd's energy and plays to attack the whole game. Then after being up 2-1, we hit them on a count of 3-0 while they're caught out trying to get a goal. And we send the Lagartos into 19 more years of misery. Alex says, só uma palavra para sábado, ganhar ou ganhar. SLBS says 2-0. Let's see what else we got here that's worthy. I bet the house Paulo stops watching Sporting when Jokeres gets sold this summer. Paul's been a diehard despite all their frustration.
He's the solo Portuguese in the group.
I was watching when your beloved João Pinto helped us win a title.
He's a typical believer that says next year. He said it for 20 years. I've known him.
Yeah, but now it's coming to reality.
Yeah. All right. I did have a couple of other topics, but we've run our course here. I want to say, one, thank you to everyone that was in the comments. We had a lot of comments, a lot of interaction. Don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast after the fact or watching after the fact, please do jump back in, leave us your thoughts, leave us your comments in regards to the game. We comment or respond to everything. Rob says, my fight is with Braga. My fight is with Braga this year. Benfica can take the B away from the Lagartos. All right, we got one on our side. In 50 years, Sporting will count this league as their, and I'm assuming that's a typo. I don't know what the end of that is.
Getting too excited.
Don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe. Paul, as always, thank you for joining us. Hold on, I got a comment here. My brother on Instagram says, I told Jonathan, my cousin who's a Sporting fan, if they win Saturday, he's no longer my cousin for the remainder of the year. So we're already disowning family. Milton says, special podcast if we're champions. I've thought about it. Maybe potentially even having a watch along with the celebrations if we get there, right? I don't want to, as they say, lançados foguetes antes da festa. But let's take it a day at a time. We'll see when we get there, and we'll make a decision if we do come to it. Paul, like I was saying, thank you for joining us. Again, this is a once in a century, once potentially in a lifetime situation as it relates to the situation that we're going into this game. Both can be champions. Both can walk away with the title. We could walk away and go into the final game. We don't know. Edson asked, do you guys stream once a week? Typically, that's our cadence. We've been off for the last 3 weeks just with business and personal stuff. It's been crazy, but yes, typically once a week. It's because he sleeps with three eyes open. I don't know what the hell's going on right now. I don't know what
we basically play Sporting the next 3 titles.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're basically 4 titles. We had the Taça Liga,
the next 3.
The next 3 coming up.
Right, but the 4 titles related to this season are with Sporting, which probably hasn't happened in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
Taça
the
Liga,
Campeonato, the Taça Portugal, the Super Taça.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So
Man, Paul, you have to plan a day to watch it. Maybe bring your buddy Sergio. So I have a picture of him. I can have the clip.
I was going to invite my parents over to watch the game, but I don't like watching the game with anyone, and I don't want to break any cycles. I don't want to bring any bad juju, so I'm watching it alone. If my parents ask to come over, I'll say yes.
Whatever you did when you went to watch Atletico Madrid, just do the same thing.
I gotta wear my Actur Koglu shirt.
You gotta get on a fucking plane, fly over, and go sit in your fucking seats.
I already gave my tickets away for this weekend, so I'll just wear my Actur Koglu shirt for that game. Maybe that brings us good fortune. Yeah, so we'll be back next week, maybe Saturday. I don't know. We'll find out, but it's going to be an epic weekend. Hopefully a positive one for us, not so positive for Paul, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out on the field. Paul, any final words that you want to leave with?
No, I'll be looking forward to the podcast next week when you guys are all crying about losing the Campeonato and something about the refs or something, whatever excuses you guys like to make. I'll tune in.
Danny, make sure you fill those carretas on Saturday.
Give them the extra heavy ones.
Seriously. And flatten the wheel.
The flat tire.
I gotta figure out. I gotta bring a hotspot and an iPad, post it up somewhere.
Bill,
I will not let him watch it.
No, it's safety. It's an OSHA hazard.
Paul's gonna be in the porta potty. Just watch the game.
Yeah, he's gonna pull an A-Rod. He's gonna be sitting in the porta potty.
Yeah, I get the shit that day.
Bill, any final words?
Just Rumo 39. That's it.
Hopefully. Phone's in the truck. Orders have been given.
As long as the truck's on with the radio on.
Oscar, final words?
Fuck you, Paul.
Dude, I almost spit my drink.
No,
Jason, any final words?
We will be champs this weekend.
All right. Let's hope you guys are right. I'm going to leave you guys with the latest Guillermo Cabral video to finish this off. As always, a pleasure, gentlemen. May the best team win on Saturday, and may that best team be Sport Lisboa Benfica for the 39th title. Go Benfica, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And we will see you next week or maybe Saturday. See you, gentlemen.
Latest.
Tchau.
Good night.
Soaram uma vez as trombetas, anunciando que estávamos mortos, que o campeão já estava encontrado, que daquele buraco não sairíamos tão cedo.
Bueno, ya vamos a salir de esta situación de mierda que lamentablemente estamos en esta.
Esqueceram-se afinal de quem somos e que por aqui nunca se desiste, nunca se abandona ao sonho. Sofremos. Andámos por dias escuros, mas voltámos. Vimos a dúvida crescer. Vimos alguns de nós querer até virar as costas. Sentimos o silêncio, a dor, o peso das derrotas. Mas resistimos, porque uma coisa sabíamos: haveríamos renascer de novo. Porquê? Porque somos o Benfica. Cedo demais julgaram-nos moribundos. Surpresa, estamos aqui.
Já para a corrida, cruzamento na corrida,
A luta que tantos querem tornar desigual. Unem-se os juízes provocando uma batota quase impune. Mas não será assim. Faltam 5 finais. 5 jogos para mostrar quem manda. 5 guerras para travar com tudo o que temos. Não se trata de simples pontos. Trata-se de honra, de cultura, de alma, de quem somos nós. Falamos de envergar este símbolo com respeito. De olharem para o lado e saberem que milhões estão convosco. De ouvir cantar o nome Benfica e sentir o coração bater tão forte que até parece querer sair do peito. Pois que saia! A tua gente jamais deixará o coração cair-te ao chão. Chegou a hora. Só dependemos de nós. Lutaremos juntos contra tudo e contra todos. Remaremos para um só lado. Equipa e adeptos, unidos até ao fim. Queremos raça, queremos suor. Queremos olhos nos olhos e esses punhos bem cerrados. Porque esta camisola existe tudo. E uma coisa sabemos nós: se dermos tudo, ninguém nos para. E quando formos campeões, porque iremos ser campeões, ninguém poderá dizer que não merecemos. Porque lutámos, sofremos, porque caímos e nos reerguemos mais do que uma vez. Ao desespero de aliados improváveis damos uma resposta. Renascemos mais fortes, mais unidos, mais Benfica. E ao final do dia, quando Portugal se pintar de novo de vermelho e branco, bandeiras ao vento, cascóis ao alto, com os mais loucos de tochas na mão, olharemos uns para os outros e diremos: fizemos isto juntos. Pelo Benfica, pela nossa história, pelo 39, até o último cair aos nossos pés.
pontapé para dentro! Vai ser Português para dentro! Aqui não há príncipe nem princesa! Aqui é a Benfica do povo que marca!
Diziam então que já estávamos mortos, que a época tinha tudo para correr mal. Mas como um dia disse um grande benfiquista, isso corre bem.